we are going to make stem base. For this, you will need your green yarn, scraps of yarn, a stitch marker, scissors, hook, and a tapestry needle. We will begin by measuring out about 6 feet or 2 yards or 2 meters of green yarn, which we will have at the end, and we will use it for stem and tassel if you want to make one. If you don't want to make that, you can just begin with a small tail. I am going to have my yarn measured out so I can show you the process. Now I'm going to make a magic ring. If you have never done a magic ring, it's not that difficult. Let me walk you through the steps. My yarn tail goes this direction. It goes down or away. And my yarn ball is attached here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wrap this yarn around my finger, like so. And it looks like I have it wrapped twice. It's actually 1.5 times. I'm going to go under my first yarn and grab that next yarn and pull through. There's nothing tied or knotted here yet, but now we're going to secure it. I'm turning my hand and I'm going to grab a yarn like I would grab a yarn to do any stitch, and I pull through this. Then I take out my finger and I have this loop. This is the loop that you don't want to tighten until we put several stitches into it. To begin my round 1, I'm going to make chain 1. That's easy. Then we're going to make 4 single crochets right inside this loop that we're trying not to tighten yet. You just go inside it, pull up a yarn, and make a single crochet. That's your first chain. That's your first single crochet. We're going to mark it by using a stitch marker. You can clip yours in or just leave it like this. I'm going to clip mine for a second. Then we're going to make 3 more single crochets into this loop. 1, 2, and 3. This is when you can start tightening the loop. So I'm tightening the loop, I'm grabbing it with a tail of yarn that is very long, and I'm tightening it. Now I have this weird looking glob with a stitch marker in my first stitch. This is the end of your round 1, and you don't need to connect anything in order to make it, cohesive. So let's go to round 2. We are going to make 2 single crochets into the first stitch. We know our first stitch is the one that's marked. I'm going to remove the marker while keeping my eye on it and sticking my needle right there where I came out of. Then I'm going to make 1 single crochet into this stitch and second single crochet into that stitch. And since we made 2 single crochets in the same stitch, I'm going to mark first of them as the first stitch of this round, round 2. Then I'm going to move and find another V looking stitch. This part is already stretched, if you can see. That means I already went into it and I could see 2 single crochets coming out. So I'm not going to use it. I'm going to go into next stitch. This is it. And I will do 2 single crochets into this stitch. 1 and 2. Good. Now we need to do that again into the next stitch. I'm finding my next stitch, doing a single crochet in it, and I'm going to the same hole and making another single crochet into it. And we have one last stitch left of this round. It's this one. I'm gonna go into it, pull yarn out and make a single crochet, and I'm going to go into it again and make another single crochet. My round 2 is over, and I can keep tightening my 2 meter or 2 yard tail if it gets a little looser. On the round 3, it says we need to again mark the first stitch of this round and then use the following pattern. 2 single crochets in next stitch and single crochet in next stitch. And then we'll repeat that over and over. So let's go. My first stitch is going to be this one. And I'm going to mark it with my stitch marker and leave it. So that was my first stitch, and what I need to make one more into that same hole. Do you see this hole? That's where we go. Okay, so we made 2 single crochets into the first stitch, and now I'm going to make 1 single crochet into the next stitch. Then we make 2 single crochets into the next. 1 and 2. And only 1 in next one. 1. Then I'm going to go, how many in this one? 2. 1 and 2. And 1 in next stitch. Do you notice how I go under both sides of the stitch? That's very important to do. And our last repeat is 2 single crochets into same stitch and 1 single crochet in next stitch. So this size of the stamp base would be very beautiful for a larger bud, right? That's what I used for the larger bud. Or it would be very, very good for a smaller bud. If you are done and it's your last round, then you can make a slip stitch into that last stitch, cut off your yarn and pull through to finish. If you're moving on to a rose, then it might still work for a rose, but perhaps you would also need one more round to make it larger or wider. See, this one is not as wide as the base stem I had on my rose. If you don't need to watch how to make the last round, I suggest you just fast forward a little bit to the part where you can learn how to navigate working with a long tail. Otherwise, stay with me. For the last and optional round 4, you will make 2 single crochet stitches into the first stitch. Make sure to mark the first stitch of this round with a stitch marker, and next 2 stitches, this one and this one, will receive only 1 single crochet. 1 single crochet and 1 single crochet. Let's go to next repeat. The repeat is 2 single crochets in first stitch and single crochet in second and third. Let's go. 2 single crochets in this stitch, and then 1 single crochet in next, and 1 single crochet in next. We are repeating this again. 1 and 2 single crochets in the first stitch, 1 single crochet in next, and 1 single crochet in next. And our last repeat is right here. We do 1 single, another single in the same hole, then a single in next stitch, and a single in next stitch. Then we can cut out the yarn at about 8 to 10 inches. We are going to slip stitch into the first stitch of this round, pull all the way, and then yarn over and pull the yarn out that we just cut out through the loop. Remove the stitch marker, and we can use this yarn to attach it to a rose using our needle with a large ear and using an already made rose. Keeping it in the middle. You're welcome to pin it if you need to. I like to go in the middle of stitches, then come out on the rose color. If you find a different way of attaching things that you love so much more than this, would you please share it with me? After I'm done going around, I will weave in my remaining tail back and forth inside the base of the stem, and when I feel like it's tangled enough and weaved in enough, I will simply cut it off. And then I can begin making a stem. The stem has its own tutorial, but let me show you how to get it started. So I would put my hook maybe a round below the pimple, the very tip of the stem, and then I will grab yarn through all of this, and then I will start chaining in order to make a stem. And then you can go into a tassel tutorial if you need a tassel, or you can attach it to a leaf if you have a leaf made. But basically, this is our rose that already has a stem base on it, and that's all you needed to know.